beautiful, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a 9x12 layout that I sort of semi-created in Photoshop before I started. So I wanted to show you the process of the background that I made. So here is the final product of the background, plus all of the goodies. This is the layout that we're making, maybe. There we go. This is the layout that we're making, and so I'm going to show you how I made the background. So it's super easy. It looks a lot more complicated than it actually is. So let's start with a 9x12 canvas, and I'm going to flood fill with my paint bucket the canvas white because I'm going to be printing on white cardstock. And then I am going to come into the Keep Chasing Rainbows digital kit and into the embellishments, and in this embellishment set are these hearts that I'm going to want. And I'm just going to drag and drop them onto my canvas. And then I'm also going to want the rainbow paint, which is right here. So I just need 2 copies of this because I'm doing one black and white and one in color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate them both. So I'm going to hold down Shift, click on the second layer in the layers palette, hit Command or Control J to duplicate. So now I have 2 sets. I'm going to turn off the color set first so that I can apply the color overlay to make these black and white. It's super simple. All you do is click on the layer, double click on it in the layers palette, go to color overlay down here at the bottom and choose black, gray. It doesn't matter because once you switch it to color, which, there we go, color is going to turn the whole thing gray. So I'm actually going to make it black here. Hit OK. Right click on the layer in the layers palette and hit copy layer style. Then select the hearts in the background and right click on it on the layers palette and hit paste layer style. So now you have black and white versions of both of these embellishments, and you have color versions that I'm going to turn back on here. So I'm going to rotate both of the both of the rainbows, there we go, in opposite directions. Actually, I think, yeah, this one goes, let's look. Okay, this one goes this way. And then this one goes this way. All right, there we go. And now we have this that needs to go red to pink. So I'll put it over here, make sure it goes straight up and down. And then this one needs to go straight up and down as well. So I'm creating a color rainbow with black and white hearts on one side and a black and white rainbow with color hearts on the other side. So I need to make everything a bit smaller. I'm going to drag a guideline from the rulers to the midpoint of the layout, which is 4.5 inches, so that I know where the center is. And now I'm going to click and drag outside my canvas so that I can select everything. Hold down Shift and click on the background to deselect it. And now I can make everything just a bit smaller. If I hold down Alt, it will reduce from the center. And lastly, we just need to move these out a bit so that they're not overlapping. I'm going to move them both to, let's move them both to 1/2 inch from the outside. I'm just using my guidelines to make them even. And we'll move the hearts to 1 inch from the outside. There we go. So now I can just take this and print it and use it on my craft table instead of in Photoshop. So the rest of this layout is just sort of putting together what I half designed in Photoshop, so it goes super quickly. It's just kind of the mechanics of how it gets put together. So I'm going to back all these photos, or this photo and this journal card, in this beautiful plaid. I'm using the Keep Chasing Rainbows collection from my shop. It is linked in the description box below. And what I ended up doing was cutting this rainbow paper into a tag shape. And then, because I am scrapping about the dichotomy between my two teenagers and how they are night and day, yin and yang, absolute polar opposites, I needed to have a black and white tag as well. So all I did was take the stripe from the collection and turn it black and white. It is not a paper included in the collection, but it's fairly simple to find a black and white striped paper. If you don't know how to recolor things in Photoshop, you don't have to. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a pocket behind these tags to sort of stick this journaling tag. I didn't want to have, I had a lot of journaling, so I didn't want to have it directly on the paper. So instead I'm going to use foam dots, and I'm going to make it so that the tags stick out away from the background paper so that I can easily slide this journaling tag in and out. And I'm creating rails with these foam dots so that the tag goes in smoothly and has enough room, and sort of doesn't come out the sides or the bottom as well. Perfect. Okay, so now I have these cute hearts that are in the patterns from the collection, and I'm going to put them all along the side of the tag here. I do realize once I start getting some of these down that I am way too far to the left-hand side of the layout, and I'm starting to cover up those confetti hearts because I have all of this extra space being taken up by these big hearts. So I'm going to move the whole thing to the right here. Luckily the foam dots came up fairly easily, but I needed to move the whole thing over just a tad to make it look more even for the confetti hearts. So I'm putting these in rainbow order, and I realized when I printed this that somehow I did not print the deep blue heart that I had originally designed. I decided rather than to print it, I just was going to go with it. It does not make a difference. There's more than enough colorful heart action going on here for this page anyway. So I'm going to pull this whole thing up now, just move it slightly over to the right so that we don't cover up too much of the black or the colorful hearts, and we do cover up more of the black and white hearts. There we go. Perfect. So now it looks more even because of the offset of the colorful hearts. So I initially had these designed so that there were hearts on top of and underneath the tags, but because of the foam dots, they were too high to sort of interlace above and below, so I'm just going to put them all underneath. Not a big deal. I'm keeping this whole layout. I mean, it looks complicated, but it is actually really simple for me. I'm adding in this little label plus this journaling, or not journaling, but word bit. And then I do decide at this point, I was going to keep it 12 by 12, but I decided it was too small of a composition for 12 by 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down to 9 by 12. Perfect. Now I need to string the ribbon into the tags and call it good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There is a link to the Keep Chasing Rainbows collection in the comments section below, and I will see you next time. All right, thank you.